Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the very last in this very ring for 2024. You know, we always take the last 2 weeks of the year off. This is no surprise to anybody. I am the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. I am the man known as Ritz. Joining me, as they do each and every Friday night, the OGP of A2D, Mr. Pete Evans.
The flawless one. How's everyone doing?
Oh, for the love of God.
God.
And the mayor of Toasty Town, this is Butters.
Hi.
All that, I'm thinking you're going to do the Bobby Roode and say
So
glorious.
underwhelming.
It's
Every time.
lackluster. The look and the haircut.
Yeah, you're looking a little clean today. What's the
Looking like
occasion?
The
I know
dad,
you're not, I know you're not meeting me out after the show ends, so.
Hell no, because I got work in the morning.
So do I.
You don't get up at fucking 3-4 o'clock in the morning to go to work.
No, that's about when I go to bed. But we are brought to you by our friends at Baggio's Bread. Baggio's Bread is located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pie, sandwich cutlets, and meatballs. Mention A2D Radio for 10% off your in-store purchase. Football is here, so get your spread with Baggio's Bread. I swear to God, if I ever find out that they turn that into their own slogan, I am going after royalties. All right, so it is Saturday night's main event weekend. It has been a fantastic ride coming off of Survivor Series, getting ready for this show. And there's really, when we think about tomorrow night, and we think about the return to Madison Square Garden, which I do want to talk about, how important that is and what that building means to WWE. And Jesse Ventura coming back on the commentary table and all the matches leading up to it. There's one question that's kind of on everybody's mind, and it revolves the Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens match. And it's Kevin Owens will be the one to end Cody's run as WWE champion. Agree, disagree? Butters, it's your question. You came up with this earlier this week. Bring it on. We already kind of know where everybody else is going with it. What do you think?
I will agree to the poll. I do believe Kevin Owens will be the one to end Cody's run as WWE champion. It's time. Cody has had it since WrestleMania. Cody's run has been a little lackluster in my eyes, and you are blurry as hell, sir.
Oh, wow, that happened.
get that film off your camera, sir.
Oh, now you're hazy. All right. Now
Nothing is working over here. The mixing board crashed before we came on the air. It's just one of those days.
Yeah. Blame it on the equipment.
Bite me.
Expound further for me.
Oh, that's a lot of biting.
Dapper Butters. So it's time. I would challenge you to say what about Cody's run has been lackluster.
I'd say more so probably a lot of the title defenses. He hasn't defended it a lot as much as people would think. You know, I just...
Is that it?
No, I lost my...
That was a hard out.
Yeah, that was just... Boom.
I would say this. What's up, Tom?
What's up,
the
Tom?
man that runs it all. He sits in the gorilla position of A2D Radio.
Has no idea what that means. He has zero clue what that means.
I know. It's for us. That he doesn't need to know what it means.
I mean,
if you are in here, give us a like, give us a follow, leave a 5-star review if you catch an audio form of this later that we will put up within 24 hours in most cases. But I would agree with. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You know, most of us saw the video the other day of Triple H giving Cody something for one night only.
Yep.
We all have an idea what that is. The Winged Eagle belt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it comes down to how crazy would it be for Kevin Owens to win that? You know, to win, beat Cody for the title and take that belt with him.
So
Triple H being like, you know, I gave it to you for one night and you lose it.
Okay. So I was the champion of this poll question. I was on this horse before anybody that Kevin needed to win it. Shut your face. Take the visual out of your head.
That poor horse.
Damn.
But I will say this: I agree with you for the fact of the defenses and the feuds that we've had haven't been that intriguing with Cody. I get why they did Cody solo at SummerSlam to bring Roman back. I wish we would have gotten Cody and Kevin a lot earlier. I wish this would have happened in the summer. That I think that would have kept Cody hot throughout this whole time frame. And in reference to the poll question, I actually disagree now to the poll for the fact of the Winged Eagle belt. You're not going to do that for one night and one night only and then have Cody lose it. And here's the thing, because I think we get a Randy return tomorrow. I think it's either a non-finish or Randy costs Kevin. I don't think we're to the point where Randy's going to try to get revenge on Kevin and then end up costing Cody the title. I don't see that happening. I almost see Cody being built as this era Cena in a sense, and I don't think it's time yet. And it really is the introduction of what we got on, what was it, Wednesday or Thursday, of the Winged Eagle belt, or was that just yesterday? Thursday was yesterday, but
I think it was yesterday. But I mean, they never really said it was the Winged Eagle belt.
I mean, the face.
I know it's implied.
Yeah, it's implied. The implication is it is a new title, a Cody variant of the title. Hopefully, a Winged Eagle. I would love to see it in what fashion we're going to see it in. I don't think we do something like that and then have Cody lose it. And I mean, in essence, honestly, if you look at this card from top to bottom, which we'll get into at some point during this show, this card is stacked.
Yep.
This, like, they're going to the hilt.
They're wanting to stack this card and Netflix Raw.
Yes.
I mean, they just announced Roman versus Solo on Raw.
Yep. Yeah. They want to end with a bang and start with a bang.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my God, I just realized something. After December 30th, I can't say we're going to get this. They're going to offer this on free TV anymore.
What's that?
Nothing on Monday Night Raw will be on free TV anymore.
Right. Yeah, that is true.
It is paid.
I mean, I don't know how many households don't have Netflix in some form or capacity, or someone's not using an account from somewhere else and they're sharing the login, because you can share their subscription that way. I mean, Netflix is, I don't know how many subscribers they have, but it is global. So I almost want to say it's kind of going to outreach what it is. Okay, well, let's be fair. What it's on now on USA Network isn't technically free TV.
Correct.
But you are paying for some sort of service to obtain. You should be paying for some sort of service to obtain the rights to be able to watch WWE programming on USA. But I mean, that was my gist. Like I said, I was championing Kevin winning it because of some of the same reasons. Like, it just felt like it may have been time. I don't think they need to get SNME over that much, Saturday's Night Main Event over that much, and do the title change when they're bringing the Winged Eagle back. I'll leave it to you now, Ritz. I don't know what, if you're looking up there for where your hair went, it was gone a long time ago.
All right, so that's the game we're going to play tonight, Mr.
Hey, you talked about me and the horse. You threw the first.
I didn't say a word.
Your reaction said it all.
I didn't say anything. I'm clean. I'm good. I didn't say a word. You can blame that toasty one down there. Now, which is ironic because that man is one of the palest motherfuckers I've ever met. It's like
just don't be around me when I wear shorts. You go blind.
Wow. Nobody needs those straws at all.
Moving on. So, while you guys make really good points with the Winged Eagle belt coming back, right, and not being the right time to take it off of Cody and because of the Winged Eagle.
I mean, what better way to make a statement?
Shut up, damn it. I think it's better to do it that way. Right? You go back to one of the original events for WWE in Saturday Night's Main Event. It's in the original building. I thought it was an MSG. I do apologize. It's at Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Okay, it was the same spot as it was 39 years ago. And on that inaugural event, right, It was Hogan versus Orton for the title.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see with this title here, more specifically the Winged Eagle. So the Winged Eagle was introduced in February of 1988.
Yep. You could have asked. You didn't have to look that up. I would have told you that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was one of the three of us that was alive and kicking back then.
Fair point. So, and obviously, what's his name? Never holds it. Dusty Rhodes never holds that title at all. Never comes close to that title. Okay. But my point that I'm going with here is when you think about the Winged Eagle and you think about all the people that did hold it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had the Austins, the Michaels, you had the Undertakers, the Hogans, Yokozuna, everything like that. You could very easily bring this title back, and what better way to do it than with Kevin Owens, who has wants revenge against Kevin Owens?
Mm-hmm.
Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
What was an early moniker of Randy Orton? The Legend Killer. So you bring back the Legend Killer to kill the legend of the Winged Eagle title. KO and his
just
legend,
go back to the same variant that they have now,
or something different.
That's how long is this title? So this title that they have now. I mean, I know the variant that Cody is holding is a variant that Trips gave to Roman in 23.
Correct.
Because the original one had the black leather background with the big W kind of studded out and gold, where this is the gold background.
Oh yeah, that's the black one. The black
right.
background.
That was that. Thank you, sir. I am the black one. Hold it up. Continue with the display. Yes. So yes, that variant has been around since 2015, WrestleMania 31, because that's the one that Seth cashed in on. So I was right around that same time. So it's been around for almost about 10 years.
And granted, there was a red strip that went down here, but it fell apart.
Oh, wow.
It didn't survive the trip back from New Orleans.
Bro, a lot of the QC with those titles sometimes is
But honestly, that was the only part of it that fell apart right away was and that piece on there was a little bit more plasticky, but everything else has held up really well. You know, the side plates have been interchangeable and everything like that. So
yeah.
But
no, so like that run is usually around 10 years or so. Obviously they just introduced this one. I think what they should get back to doing though is if depending on the champion, that champion should have a variant of what that title is. When Warrior won the Winged Eagle belt, WrestleMania 6, he had a white version, he had a white leather version, he had a blue leather version, a Carolina blue leather version, and then he also had the one that he lost at Royal Rumble 1991. That, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that was a purple variant, like a purple leather strap. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I want to say it was either white or it was purple. That it was one of those. So he had those. We all know John Cena when he won it from JBL 2005. Then he ultimately introduced the spinner belt. Then when
hold on.
Go ahead.
2014 is when Lesnar was given it was August 18th. Lesnar was given a single belt championship, retiring the big gold belt, and it was the network logo. Had a slightly updated design from the belt introduced by The Rock in 2013 as a result of WWE changing their corporate logo to the one used for the WWE network.
Yeah, so it's been over 10 years. So it's about time. From a merch perspective, I don't think it's going to be the Winged Eagle that was there in 88 to 98-ish, so 10 years. I don't think you'll see that. I mean, honestly, I don't know how well it would do. I mean, but they're probably going to have a white strap on it with some red or some blue, almost kind of give it a U.S. Championship vibe, just because that's what Cody is. So I like that, but I don't know how long it should stick around as long as Cody is the champion. So maybe till Mania, and then when we do see it tomorrow night when he comes out with it, that belt's going on WWE Shop.
It's already on WWE Shop.
The new belt?
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm talking about the wing. Once the Winged Eagle, whatever was in that case, is going to be on WWE Shop by the end of tomorrow night, or right after it goes off the air. So
I'm looking at the Winged Eagle right now.
The original Winged Eagle is there. It has to be bigger than that because compared to the newer titles, that Winged Eagle, that centerpiece, is smaller than the new titles. It's even the Attitude Era Winged Eagle belt, which I have, is not as big as what those belts are. The Undisputed.
Well, so the Attitude Era is actually called the Big Eagle title.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a form of an eagle. Let me ask you this. I'll give you some. I'll give it to the chat. I know Don probably knows.
What chat? Don is the chat.
This one? So what talent, what superstar smashed the original Winged Eagle belt? Which led to
the hardcore title being introduced?
No, before that. Which led to having two titles going around. One was fake, one was real.
Perfect?
Yep, there you go. Mr. Perfect. Took a hammer and smashed Hogan's title. I think it was a Saturday Night Main Event, if I'm not mistaken. Smashed it, and then we had two. There you go. But I mean, it's curious to see. I think the storyline headed into this is building and didn't really need that much. I only want to go back to what KO had said tonight from the car. One of the things, it was 2 weeks ago when he said, "Yeah, Cody, you may be the American Nightmare. Well, I'm the Canadian Dream." And I'm surprised from no one that there was a callback to that. It's one of the greatest lines that we've heard in wrestling in the past 2 years.
It's a very good line.
The Canadian. Now, if you would have said that and they're not doing this title, then I would agree to this poll. But it's almost like, how can I say this? And it's also the rhetoric that's going into this, where Kevin is saying, Cody, I'm doing this because you're such a bad friend. You're not the friend and the person that everybody thinks you are. You're not holier than thou. If he was saying from the standpoint of, I haven't had a championship in 4 years. What they did to me, they made my life a living hell. I need this title to validate myself, to validate my actions of what I've done, how I turned my back on. Even though you turned your back on me, I felt as if I had to take these actions to validate myself to be a singles champion again. Then I think there's a more believability chance that he's winning that title. But it's almost like he's doing all these things to make us see how bad Cody is as a person. And we all know Cody isn't like that. So once Cody rises above that, then he's still going to ultimately end up being champion. So it's like another notch in Cody's belt.
Well, and Don brings it up here. Is Cody a low-key heel?
I've been screaming. What face do you know wears a three-piece suit?
But hold on. He actually brings that up, and I'm going to pull it up right now. When he's on the Jimmy Fallon show, he brings up the suit bit, and I want to get the quote from that. So keep talking while I do this.
No, I've said this. I said this when they did the big Georgia Tech thing between him and Roman. There was a lot of cinematography, big hoop, a lot of that. If you close your eyes and you're just listening to the voice yourself, who do you think is the heel? Who do you think is the face? I mean, like he's a face, but he's like the most anti-face. When you think about a true face of WWE as a good guy, you don't think about a dude that's blonde, bleach blonde hair, blue eyes, wears three-piece suits, wears dress shoes, drives a fast Italian sports car, and has a tattoo on his neck. That's not generally what the face of WWE is. That's pushed as a good guy.
It's
that
kind
is
of
not
a new era
it.
face, though.
Huh?
It's more of a new era style face.
You think so?
Potentially, yeah.
I mean,
each era has its own style.
I'm not saying he's the. Here's the biggest thing. He has more in common with MJF
Hold on.
than he has in how he carries himself than any other face. How he dresses, how he carries himself. Go ahead, Rich.
So he's starting it off right now. I'm going to back it up probably a couple seconds. Right? So it was around 2015. It just became this thing. I want to represent wrestling. It's entertainment in a different way. Suits, always customs. Feel pretentious about it. He wasn't holding it over anybody. He wanted to feel that, how he looked sharp. Hold on. He says men in the wrestling game are intimidated by the whole suit. He says they have an issue with their manhood. Like, this is coming across as a mix of a heel promo on Fallon and a babyface promo. Because he starts it off with saying, I wanted to represent the world of professional wrestling in a different light. Because if you do really think about it, if you really do think about it, you are sitting at the top of this mountain. You are, for lack of a better phrase, you're the Tom Brady of professional wrestling in that moment. Right? Well, Brady always walked around looking clean, looking sharp, looking ready to go. Right?
People hated Brady.
Agreed, but they hated Brady because he was good. But even McNabb, let's look at local heroes.
Do not put those two names in the same sentence. Ever.
No, they're not the same. But I look at local heroes. Like who are people that this city has put on? I say the city of Philadelphia. Who have they put on a pedestal? Carson Wentz for a little bit, Nick Foles for a while, Jalen Hurts now.
I mean, Nick Foles will never have to pay for a meal in Philadelphia ever again. He does not wear suits.
No, but my point being here is, when you want to look a certain part, okay, maybe they're the wrong people to use for the analogies because I don't give a damn about the sports world. You should know that by now, right? Let me phrase that: the individuals in the sports world. I like the teams just go play the damn game. Now, when you're sitting at the top of the mountain, when you are the guy, right, of a company, you're having to be the visual representation of your profession. Right? Because again, you're going to go out and you're going to do media. You're going to do.
As you're talking, I'm thinking of analogies I can use, and everyone I'm thinking of is not a good guy.
But you're not going to show up. And mind you, this is the first part of this promo is where I'm breaking it down. I'm not saying this is how I feel or whatever. You're not going to show up in shorts and a t-shirt and some Crocs.
I don't expect that, but a jogging suit. Like if you look at Roman, didn't wear suits.
When he did
Roman very rarely wore suits. Roman most of the time was in a track suit or something like that. He never wore three-piece suits. I can tell you right now, you want to talk about some in the sports world, but somebody who carries themselves as the face of whatever it is that they do, and they want to dress the part. Cody has more in line with Conor McGregor because Conor McGregor will wear suits. Conor McGregor will walk around that cocky. And honestly, if Cody did do a heel turn, I'm cool with it. I actually can honestly see it if they plan on at the end of the night 2 in WrestleMania in Vegas, if Roman Reigns is winning the world title again, they want him to do it as a true bona fide face. Not saying you have to turn Cody into a cheap shit, dirty heel, but he's leaning towards this edge. You see what I'm saying? And he's made a point to say like, hey, like when he fought Melo 2 weeks ago, it's like, you get in this ring with me, I'm gonna treat you like Kevin Owens, and I don't like Kevin Owens. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I'm going through. I'm looking at old interviews that Roman has done because swear to God, up until we started talking about Cody being in the suit, from a personal standpoint, I never thought about it because honestly, I don't care what they wear. I don't.
But I'm just saying how they carry themselves. So Cody is obviously Dusty Rhodes' son. Dusty who was his biggest rival? Ric Flair. If you take a look at those two right now, and you go throughout their history, you can picture all the interviews that they fucking did. Cody comes out. Who does he look more like, Rick or his fucking dad? Look at how he holds the title, bro.
But again, you're not trying to convince me of anything.
I'm not. I'm making you aware.
I'm already aware. I'm trying to break down an interview, right?
You say it.
I'm trying to break down what
You
he
put
said.
up the comment.
Right, but I'm trying to break down the interview. Okay? To make a point on how Don's kind of right. He is a low-key heel, right? But if you listen to the first part of this, and this is where I think Cody is super smart with what he's doing. And whether it's just Cody doing it or whether it's Cody and the writers or Cody and Triple H or whoever, right? I don't think this is a one-man show on Cody's part. But you listen to that first part of the interview, and he's like, I wanted to hold myself in a better representation. I wanted to hold the wrestling industry in a better representation. I wanted to feel good, look good, whatever. Hey, cool. That's awesome. That all sounds great. And then immediately he's like, but there are other people who, have their manhood intimidated by the fact that I walk around wearing 3-piece suits. Brother, what? How did we get here? And then you go to the Mello thing, right? It's a great promo. Mello comes out. He goes, I want to fight you. And Cody goes, I'm going to visualize Kevin Owens, and I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Yep.
Right? So there are wrong.
He's not wrong. You're right.
It is Homelander.
Yep. He thinks he's doing everything right. He thinks he's representing it in the mindset and what he sees.
This is Injustice Superman.
Yeah. I mean, eventually it is coming. I don't know if we see it this Saturday. I just want to make people aware. Ultimately, when it does happen, he's been showing you this.
I don't. My
for
thing
years.
With this is I think they're letting him dabble in the little bit of the heel comments, some of the heel, dialogue, because let's be real, they don't have another baby face like Cody Rhodes.
I mean, they don't have one that is instant, but I would say very quickly LA Knight can get back to that level.
And you could get LA Knight there.
Yeah, you can get LA Knight back
to
that level.
Right now, that's why I said I'm with you in the sense of it's not coming. I don't think it's coming within the next year, if I'm being honest with you. Because you have to build LA Knight back up. You have to give him
I have a person.
Hold on. I have one too. Right? Okay. Who I think could be closer and would challenge my year timeline.
Who you think?
Damien Priest.
No. Right letter of the first name, but I do not think it's him.
If you are about to say,
you know it.
What I think.
Mullet and the mustache, bro.
I swear to God, if you say Dominic,
I'm not doing it with either one of them. Butter's just collateral damage at that point.
I can bring myself back.
I know you can. Butters can't. That's why it's fun for me.
Almost.
But even that though, right? We're still. If you wanted to go the Dominic route, you're still a year away from everybody. So that's what I'm saying. If you wanted to take a massive baby face, you have Damien Priest locked, ready, and loaded to go, where you could challenge that year timeline. You could have him ready by WrestleMania to take that kind of baby face of the company mantle, right? You have John Cena coming back, in a more full-time
kind of. There's also another person we forgot.
Randy Orton is around still, which Randy's that.
No.
I think Butters may say if he's on it, because his name was mentioned tonight.
Who?
There's somebody else that you can get ready that's probably already the biggest face in the company. Probably bigger than Cody. Yeet.
So, all right. So I thought about him, and I don't.
And they were tag team champions together. Remember that too.
They had an opportunity to do that with him, and they pulled back, obviously for the Bloodline storyline and everything like that. But they haven't.
Oh, they could pull that trigger and it'd go hard.
Yeah.
And again, while I don't disagree, everything is about timing.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you don't need
shut up. you could very easily Finn Balor Jey Uso if you do it wrong. Because Finn Balor was incredible. He was an Intercontinental Champion. He was on top of everything. They put the title on him. He got hurt, and he never got back to the promised land. He never got back there. He until tomorrow, but it's his first true world title match in years. Right? Where I could say, you know what, maybe, sorta, kinda. I don't know.
I think he leaves tomorrow. If this was about Gunther, I think Finn leaves tomorrow as the World Heavyweight Champion.
It could. It very well. That's very good possibility. We'll talk about that when we get there. Mm-hmm. But my fear with somebody like a Jey Uso is that you're going to put him on this pedestal running the company. And while I think he's great the way he is right now, once he gets on the mountaintop, then what?
Here's the thing. Remember, this conversation started with Don's comment about Cody being low-key heel. Jey doesn't necessarily have to go over. We started this portion of the conversation saying, who can they get as a face that's as big as Cody?
Yeah, but eventually,
yes. But right, you're just saying that if you turn Cody heel, who do you replace him with? Insert top face.
Right, but then my follow-up question is, right, that top face is going to have to be, because Cody would become the top heel, right? The top face is going to have to beat the top heel at some point. Then what do you do from there? And within the next year, I can't figure out a way to get Jey there. I can figure out a way for you to get LA Knight there. I can figure out a way for you to get Damien there, right? Because we don't know what's next with this whole bloodline thing. Are they still going to keep Jey around with what's going on with Roman and Solo leading into the 6th, right? Until this bloodline thing is truly put to bed, and I don't think we're anywhere close to it being done. Like we said, we've talked about it at nauseum on here. I think WrestleMania is when the book gets closed on that. I don't think we're going to see Jey doing anything else really relevantly important until then.
And I think, once again, we're kind of not spinning our wheels, but ultimately, honestly, the biggest face in the company right now, we say Jey gets the biggest pop, but it's really Roman.
Correct.
If they truly wanted to do Roman versus Cody 3 with the roles being reversed, Roman, it will be Roman. Roman is the top face.
Right, but I'm still on that mindset of once he gets the Ulafala back and this, that, and the other thing.
He's not, and I will tell you this, he's not getting it back on January 6th. We all know what's happening January 6th.
Correct. But I think Roman's time as an active performer is dwindling.
Yeah, he's been around He's been in the company for 14 years?
Yeah, I mean he's
been on the main roster for 12, to going on 13.
Yeah, and he's done it all. So I've said this before. I do think his time on the mountaintop is, as an active performer, is dwindling down.
I've said this. When I look at him and The Rock is more entertaining. The Rock is more electrifying. But when I look at their contributions to this business that we love, The Rock can't hold a candle to what Roman did.
No.
And I would argue to anybody on that. He cannot bring the contributions to what Roman has done for this business at all. And everybody that Roman has been involved with the past 4 years is elevated from a different position than where they were at before. And they have maintained that elevation. It almost made it believable for me to think that when Big Jim gets his foot healed, that he could be a singles champion for the United States title.
Yeah.
That's what they said that for. The Rock has never done that.
No. But I also, and again, I'm not going to sit here and defend The Rock or put down Roman. the company was two very different companies that you were part of.
Oh yeah.
Two very different eras of professional wrestling. The Rock was more fight for your life, and
You had to.
everything has to matter right now. Everything has to have big payoffs right now. It was more of an instant gratification kind of business than what we have now with professional wrestling, where you can draw out a storyline for 4 years. Where
it's the right way to do it. There's another company that doesn't do that. So,
well, fuck them too, right? But they're so it's very different. That's why, like, you look at Roman's last 4 or 5 years, he did more than The Rock ever will, but The Rock never had some of those opportunities to do that. They could never put The Rock in those positions to do that. So, but that's why you can't ever say one's better than the other.
It's just different. That's why I said I didn't say one's better. I didn't say
you did. I was saying just
there
are going to be people that are going to say no, Roman's better than The Rock. No. Right? And here you go. Marley again hits another great point. When The Rock was around, he was with a bunch of other made men. He didn't really have to elevate anyone. Again, thank you for making my point, Marley.
Yep.
Right? Like The Rock didn't have or need to be in some of these positions.
Yep.
So I think when you start looking at the two different people, you can say here are people that sit on the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling for what they did to the business in their eras. Correct, but that's why I think it's going to lead to something with a title, and I think it's going to lead to the World Heavyweight title.
I would love for it to see this. Give me Punk Cena. I'm there for it. It could get rekindled so fast, and it could be done so right. And the two.
And I think they get there eventually.
Yeah.
I think we see I think we see Cena do a mix of matches that he's never had before, and then some of the people that are still around, like CM Punk, like Randy Orton, even like Kofi for somebody who's been around for a long time. I think we see him do some matches with them as well, as kind of like a ride off into the sunset. But that's another conversation for another time. I do want to get into some of these other matches, though. We spent a lot of time on Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes.
Did you give an official answer to the poll?
I agreed to it.
Yeah.
I agreed.
For once a week. For once.
No. If that's the case, then I'm disagreeing.
No, sir. You already said it. Can't change your mind.
I absolutely can. I'm the executive producer of this show. Bite me. Do whatever I want.
I need a picnic basket for that one.
But
Millie coming in hot.
but no. If they were to end Cody's title run tomorrow, I'm okay with it. Is really what that boils down to. I'm okay with it being Kevin. I'm okay with it ending tomorrow. So let's get into some of these other matches. I really want to go to the Women's United States Championship tournament.
Did we call it or did we not call it?
We called it.
We said it should either be Michin or Chelsea, and then lo and behold.
But we also talked. We were like, you know what though? We could see how it would get to where it's not those two.
Right. And
now the big question is Michin or Chelsea, guys?
Just like Don says, let's go Chelsea.
So
shout out to the walking logo for Rita's Water Ice tonight, by the way. Never looked better.
You saw my comment, right? I ain't saying it on the air, but you saw my comment.
God, I saw. Lord have mercy.
That's some wrestling presence tonight.
I need some water ice.
Thank you. That's exactly what I said. I had something else written, but I was like, man, that might be a little too much. But there is a part of me that really wants Chelsea Green to win it because I think she's going to do great things with the title. And I think she's the right person to put it on. There are other people that say, I mean, there's the other side of my brain that says, I want Michin because I think she's earned it. I think she deserves it. I think she's put in the work.
I think that's where it's going. And here's the thing: like, I think with Trips versus Vince, which is a name that had been said on the show for a while, is it? I think Trips tells his people, the ones that he likes, his people that he's brought up. He says, "Listen, don't worry, your time will come." And he always gets back to that. You will hear talent say, like, everything he promised me that he would do, he does. And you forget, Mia was in Black and Gold NXT. Mia was his call up. He poached her from TNA. I think this is Mia's time. And honestly, it's a good inaugural United States Women's Champion.
And I will say, this is one of those matches to where I'm cool
Either way.
I am not mad about how we got there. I am not mad about who won each match. I'm not mad about any of it. I'm not upset that Tiffany's not in there. I'm not upset that Bayley's not in there. I am fantastically happy with the fact that here are two people who realistically have just been kind of sitting in obscurity.
Yeah, and that's honestly almost, I feel like Chelsea, her big win came tonight. You beat a Grand Slam champion, whereas we all kind of know Tiff has bigger things in store for her with the Money in the Bank briefcase. So even though Tiff lost, we know that she's on the bigger and better things. Bayley just didn't need it. Bayley was there in this position to elevate Chelsea to this position,
and,
right?
You know, after those comments from night to night, Tiffy's probably looking, thinking big and hard about what she said, because that's a little.
Stop the show.
What?
You didn't get you. I don't even want you to repeat.
Moving on.
I didn't even realize what I said.
We got things to talk about. Let's just keep going. I'm
confused.
Story of your life.
Continue with your thought.
I've lost it already. You paused me.
You saying Nia and Tiff and the promo tonight that Candace walked in on.
I honestly think we're about to see the payoff to that.
You think it happens tomorrow? Or do you think it happens next week after the tag team championship match?
Probably next week.
It has to be next week. They're not on the card tomorrow.
Yeah, they're not on the card, so it'd probably be next week, unless Tiffy just magically catches in on the U.S. champion tomorrow.
That'd be stupid.
The fight that
is any women's title being defended tomorrow?
Yeah, Liv's title is being defended tomorrow.
I mean, she could theoretically cash in on Liv, but I don't know if that'll happen.
I don't see that happening either. So I think we're all okay with whoever wins, Michin or Chelsea Green.
Yep.
Going to Liv Morgan, Iyo Sky.
I mean, we know Iyo deserves it. Liv will win.
Liv will win. I think Rhea makes her makes her presence felt and known.
Yep.
I could see Rhea costing Liv the title with the understanding to Rhea that, hey, down the line, once I'm done beating the brakes off this bitch, down the line, I'm coming for that title.
Yeah.
Because I think now for Rhea, it's less about taking the title back and more about just beating her within an inch of her life.
It's the Rhea Ripley Revenge Tour.
It's that on site.
Exactly. All right. Gunther, Finn Balor, Damien Priest for the war. No, before we do that, let's do Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre. Because we already talked Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes. So let's do Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre.
I think it's a non-finish.
All the way.
First of all, did anybody see Drew McIntyre on Busted Open Radio?
No. Was he
off?
He walked off?
Yeah, he essentially says, I'm over this, and then walked off. It was kind of dramatic.
There was an idea, I don't know where, I think I may have heard it on Busted Open. Or I may have heard, I heard it on Before the Bell. I'm giving free plugs. But Drew, when he took out Jey,
yeah,
if that comes out that it was actually the help of Gallus and a Drew-led stable with Gallus, I like that a a lot.
I like that a lot too. It would give Drew something to do because I think
Yes.
he's gonna fall in this point right now where unless he's got some people that he's just running ruckshaw with,
Yeah.
he's done a lot. Again, we Drew held the company on his shoulders through the COVID era, and has been very loyal, very around, very active, very part of things. But all your stories have just they've just been stories. They haven't been for anything. You haven't done anything, So now if you put Gallus with him, now here's a heel faction that isn't caring about what they're doing, isn't caring about who they're going after. It'll give another faction, another team to bounce off of, or, create other factions to deal with this faction.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I would love that, but I could care less who wins the match.
I mean, I think, like I said, I think it's a non-finish. I think Jey comes back. Somebody does something for it to be a non-finish.
Yeah, I just this story's still kind of in its infancy, to where it's not going to matter one way or the other. I'm not invested enough saying, "Oh my God, Sami has to win," right? I think, could this potentially be match of the night with these two?
I mean, yeah, they both have a very, very high work rate. I can see it happening.
They have a very big potential for it. So
I see them just beating the brakes off of each other.
And there's nothing. It's the only match where nothing's at stake.
Yeah.
So why did this match get this rub? Why, so unless they know they're going to put on a banger of a match.
Right.
That and whatever, to start off whatever storyline this is.
We're just taking it to the next level, right? Because they've already started it off, right? You got to take it to the next level, and maybe we do see Gallus coming out.
Right.
But let's go to the triple threat. Gunther, Finn Balor, Damien Priest. Who do we have? Like, Pete, you've already alluded, Finn Balor walking out with the title.
Mm-hmm.
Finn Balor all the way.
I want Pete to expand on that. Why Finn?
I think you can have Finn walk out of this. He's looked the strongest leading into this match. Both Gunther and Damien want to get their hands on Finn for his treacherous actions. I think Damien takes the pin here to keep Gunther clean. Then I think at Royal Rumble we get Gunther versus Finn for the rematch. I think it's, once again, I go back to what I said about Trips and his guys. Look at DIY. There's a new. We talked about it. We've seen Gargano heel. We've seen Ciampa heel. We never seen them heel together. They just put the tag team titles back on them. Those are two true through and through Trips and Mike and HBK guys. Those are literally, they are just a shrunk down version of, in size and stature of Trips and HBK. That's exactly what Gargano and Ciampa are, respectively. You see what happened with them. I think, like you talked about earlier, Finn has never gotten back there. It never made sense before when he went up against who did he challenge at Money in the Bank for the title? It was Seth. All those matches he's had with Seth, it never made sense then. It makes sense now. And I think it makes sense now also from the standpoint of how that friction in the Judgment Day is there. Most of the times we just see them break up. I think at this point, if you put the title on Finn, we can already see the dissension between Dom, Raquel, and Liv. It's going to force Dom to make a decision where he wants to go because Liv and Finn aren't really vibing. I can almost see a world where Liv kind of costs Finn, maybe, but I don't think that happens. I think Finn wins it, and he says, "I'm bigger than the Judgment Day now."
I could see that. I could see it also as Finn getting the championship and go, "I hold the more important one." Right. So you're gonna have to listen to why. Like I say, when Damien was champion, Damien ran this. Right. When Rhea was champion, she ran this. You think you ran this now, but now I am champion, and I will run this. This is my group. Pete, you're muted.
My bad. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Butters, you also said Finn. Why?
Finn Balor. It helps continue that feud with Damien Priest. I mean, you can have Gunther do something else. for the time being. Just continue a little bit with Priest. Head into Rumble, Priest versus Finn for the title. And to y'all's point, I mean, this could be the breakup of the Judgment Day with Finn holding this title. With his ego, the way it's been going lately, him, to your point, Ritz, I had the higher title. I get, I have all the say.
Yeah. So I will say that I'm disappointed in Gunther's run, first of all.
I mean, it's only been 4 months.
It has. But it's also, you've done a lot with him in 4 months. You put a lot of people in front of him. He has been a fighting champion. Nothing has really hit really well. And I won't lie, I like Gunther as a wrestler. I don't like him as a champion. I was not thrilled with his Intercontinental stuff. I thought he had great matches that he was doing, but all the stories were kind of along the same lines. He's a very bland character in that he's just going to go out and beat you up, which is fine, which is great.
Perfect wrestler.
But you don't have you're not taking anything else there, right? Taking away essentially Imperium kind of exposed Gunther to not having a whole lot of personality, nothing to really work with. At least what they're giving us, right? Do I think there's more there? Yes. Also, Gunther for the last few years has gone the distance in the Royal Rumble. So I think taking the title off of Gunther frees him up for that. So they have their Iron Man through the Rumble because you don't have Cody this year, right? You have to have somebody that can go the distance, and Gunther can do that. I think so. That's another reason why we see the title come off of Gunther leading up to it. And it could be Gunther finally winning the Royal Rumble, going back, getting that moment at WrestleMania where he captures the title, because last year WrestleMania he lost the title. So there's pieces to play there. I don't think Damien Priest is going to walk out with the title here either.
I don't think Damien needs it.
Exactly. I don't think Damien needs it one bit. I think Finn needs it. I think Finn deserves it in a sense. I don't like this heel cocky Balor. So while part of me does hope he does stay over the Judgment Day and takes the reins back and everything, I do also hope he does kind of go back to that Balor Club stuff. Now, that's the Finn that I loved, was the Balor Club. I thought it was perfect. Yeah. It was great. It was a play off of the Bullet Club stuff. It kept all that relevant. So definitely two different sides of the coin there.
I mean, and just go back to something I just said about needing it. If you look at the three talents in this match, the three men in this match, one is the current champion, one is a former champion. A win does more for Finn than any talent in the match. Honestly. Right. It does more for Finn than any talent in the match. Gunther's already said, and I think the reason why Gunther had the 660 plus day, I won't say the last number, day reign, is for the fact of there was really nobody that was built up to that level, believable. Maybe Jey at a certain point, but Jey even wasn't at that time where Jey is now, right? Correct. Priest already. Once again, Damien took it off. Gunther took it off of Priest, but from the fact that he needed Finn's help, did it again at Survivor Series, right? So I think it's now time and Finn's not, even though he's a smaller dude, he's not a chicken shit heel. Like, he doesn't like to win in any way, fashion. He'll take any opportunities he can get, any liberties he can get. And I think in the three-way match, that definitely leads to the commotion that something crazy can happen and Finn can win. And Gunther doesn't necessarily, he could still be protected. He doesn't necessarily have to get pinned.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
All right. Well, I'm excited for Saturday night's main event tomorrow.
Any other matches, or that was it?
That was it. It's a short
matches.
It's a 2-hour time slot, so we know when it starts, we know when it ends, because it is simulcast on NBC as
so it's
well
8
as
to
on
10.
TikTok. Yeah, it's 8 to 10.
Okay.
Right. So those are all the pieces of the puzzle that we know. I'm very excited for it tomorrow night. I think they have the opportunity to do something phenomenal with it. They have another one scheduled in San Antonio, I believe, for January 25th. Which is about a week before the Royal Rumble. Yeah, it is a week before the Royal Rumble. So that's also something to keep in mind, right?
Where's that one at?
San Antonio. It's close to us.
Y'all going?
Probably not.
How far? That was 2 hours.
It's only we could go up and back in a day, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's worth it.
3 hour drive.
It's not worth it for a 2 hour show. Plus, I work on Saturdays.
Dom, stop. Just he's more than that.
Little bit of an announcement here.
Yep.
We will not be on for the next 2 weeks. I can probably say with some certainty that this is our last broadcast on Friday night. I don't know what time slot we're going to move to. I don't know if we're going to be pre-recorded or live or what the case may be. We're more than likely going to go down a pre-recorded route. But there are changes coming. So I want you guys to just, those of you that do follow us and are here with us every week and in our chat, in our conversation, part of this show, part of this family, this in this Fairy Ring family, kind of want to keep you guys in the loop as much as I can, as much as we can. And when we know more, you guys will see that across we're not dying, dude. We're not going away. Jesus God. Right? We're probably moving.
I curse your Detroit Lions. May they
lose. Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Actually, you know what? As an Eagles fan right now, I sustained. I don't know.
But we are done on Friday nights. That is a certainty. That is, kind of in the cards, right? And we will let you guys know where we land and when. Where we're still here on HG Radio, but like where Mondays.
How that's going to look moving forward.
Yeah, just how the show is going to look moving forward. But that being said, until then, enjoy the holidays. Happy holidays to all of you. I wish you guys a very happy new year. Gentlemen, to the both of you, thank you very much for an incredible year. We've had awesome moments, great shows.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Round of applause.
And we will see you guys on the other side. Until that time comes, tell somebody you love them. For Ritz, for Butters, for Pete, we're out of here. Bye-bye.
Shout out to the Randy Moss family. Get well soon.